Hey guys, it's Danielle and I am going to do a marriage challenge. Yay! Marriage challenges for 2019. So 2019 might look a little bit different for the marriage challenges. I'm kind of trying to decide where I want to go and how I want to navigate these. So bear with me as we try a few things out and just see how it goes and what we're looking at. So to kick the year off, I wanted to do a long-term kind of 2019 challenge, so to speak, an overall kind of yearly challenge. So if you don't know, my husband and I, we own a business together and we do it full time. And so we are literally business partners as well as husband and wife, we're parents, and all the other things in between. And let me tell you guys, being business partners with your significant other is probably one of the hardest things you can do as a couple. Like, everybody should like try to run a business together and before they get married and like see how they navigate through that. It is by far harder than having children and all of that stuff. So if you can imagine, 2018 was pretty difficult for us as a couple, just navigating through that. I mean, we've owned our first business for 3 years, I believe. However, this particular business, our play space, has been a whole different kind of beast. So, and we have now had that business for a year. And so as you can imagine, 2018 was definitely a learning experience for us, definitely challenging. And a lot of times we found ourselves, it could be business related and we're like bickering and arguing about it, and then it trickles into personal. So yeah, it was just a really hard year. And I am a strong advocate for having a relationship coach or a marriage therapist or something in that realm with your relationship. So if you guys ever feel yourselves in a very difficult place, then reach out. Do not be afraid to get a third party involved and have them help you navigate that relationship. So anyway, what I have decided to do for us and for 2019 is to keep a love journal. So essentially what the challenge will be for you guys, and the challenge for myself, is to document our good and document our bad. And I know that sounds crazy to document the bad, but my goal here is to show us and myself that our good outweighs our bad. Because sometimes you find yourself in the bad, like a really, really bad argument, and all of a sudden it clouds your entire judgment and you think like, this is horrible, this is terrible, I can't do this, where it was really just one bad argument. It wasn't like your whole week was bad and full of arguments. It was just one bad argument that may last over a couple of days, or that may linger or whatever. And then 6 months later, you're like, you remember that kind of bad, but you don't even know why you were arguing. Like, you remember the feeling, but you don't remember what it was about. And it's so trivial that if you could go back, you would know, oh, that was so stupid. Like, I can't even believe we were arguing about that. So the goal with this love journal is to have some type of concrete memory, or not memory, but concrete tangible thing that we can look back on and realize that the good outweighs the bad, number one, that the bad really wasn't even that bad, number two, number three, to remember the good, like, oh wow, that was so wonderful, I remember that, it was so great. And for us who are business partners, is to be able to realize that arguments were about business and not personal. So we were having a disagreement about a business thing and not a personal thing, because the two sometimes can get intertwined in there. So that is the goal. So with that being said, for you guys, I would like for you guys to try to create a love journal as well. And even if you're not business partners or anything like that, the goal for you would be to have some type of journal where you are documenting the good and then just keeping track of the arguments, and or not even arguments, just the bad or the feeling. And so essentially in this journal, you're going to talk about the good, the feeling you had, what made it so great, and what you took away from it. For the bad, you want to talk about what it was, what happened, what stemmed it, the feeling you had. And remember, feeling, we're not talking about I was angry. We're talking about, you know, I felt sad, or I felt disrespected, or I felt unheard or unloved, or whatever that feeling was. And what you're taking away from it and what you learned from it. And then number 5, how you can reconnect from this. So how can we grow from this as a partner? And hopefully by the end of this, what you're going to take away is, wow, the bad really isn't that bad. It's very far and few in between, and we have grown so much from the hardship, as well as learn how to communicate what you're really feeling and not the after feeling. So you will be able to communicate, hey, I felt unheard in this, versus I'm angry and you're not listening type thing. I hope that makes sense. So that is the goal of this challenge. Now, if you realize at the end of this challenge that the bad really is bad and that the bad is outweighing your good days, then you may want to really consider going to talk to a marriage and family therapist, or getting yourself a relationship coach and trying to navigate through that, or whatever may happen. You may just need to do something else if you do realize that. But ultimately, I feel like most of us will realize that the bad really isn't that bad. The good outweighs the bad, and that through the valleys, we are getting stronger as couples. So that is the first marriage challenge of 2019. Let's bring it on, y'all. If you are not part of the marriage challenges and you find this interesting and you want to get on the bandwagon for 2019 and just strengthen your relationship, you don't have to be married, but if you want to strengthen your relationship, or you want to continue to keep your relationship healthy and do some maintenance on it, then jump on in on these challenges. Hit the subscribe button. Let's start a discussion below and just encourage one another and support each other through our relationships, y'all. So, and if you've already been on the course of the marriage challenges, let's go. Here we go. 2019, bring it. See you guys next time for the next marriage challenge. Bye.